What is up, guys? Delboy here. So Team Fury wants a rematch with Joseph Parker or a fight with Lucas Browne. And obviously we're talking about Hughie Fury here. He lost a majority decision to Joseph Parker this weekend in a World Heavyweight WBO title fight. Again, I felt Joseph Parker clearly won it. And they're basically saying they want a rematch or Lucas Browne. Firstly, in regards to the rematch, apart from Hughie Fury's family and his close friends, I don't think anybody wants to see that again. It was a dull fight, wasn't particularly entertaining, it was scrappy, it was messy, and ultimately, I don't think Hughie Fury done enough to deserve a rematch. I'll be completely honest about it. Yeah, he was defensively elusive at times, yes, he was awkward, yes, he made Parker miss, but he didn't do anything in return. He barely registered with any hard shots, and he didn't make a fight of it. And the opportunity was there. That's the frustrating thing. I mean, there are several opportunities where Hughie could have let his hands go and made it a much closer, much tighter fight, and maybe even won it. You know, the right uppercut was landing, the right hand was landing on the few occasions he threw it. You know, when he kept it long, why didn't he throw the right hand more? You know, I mean, all he was doing was flicking a jab. That was lazy, that wasn't landing half the time, and that was technically pretty poor. So, to me, I'm sorry, I just don't see the controversy here. I don't think he deserves a rematch with Joseph Parker. I don't want to see that fight next. I would rather Joseph Parker fight another top 10, top 15 contender. I mentioned in my previous video, I would like Joseph Parker to fight a guy like Dillian White or Jarrell Miller next, somebody along those lines. So I'll ask these two questions and I'll give my own answer to them. Does Hughie Fury deserve a rematch? No. Does anybody want to see a rematch? No, because ultimately nobody wanted to see the first fight. That's why it did so poorly in terms of the live gate and pay-per-view numbers over here. But yeah, nobody wants to see that. However, I do think the Lucas Browne fight has legs. To me, Lucas Browne is in a position where he just needs to fight somebody. He needs to fight. He's not in a position to turn down opportunities, even though he turned down Dillian White, which was ridiculous. To me, Hughie Fury versus Lucas Browne makes a lot of sense. Hughie Fury, after that performance, you know, he's not exactly going to be highly sought after by TV companies after that performance. And Lucas Browne is coming off 2 failed drug tests. So, I mean, these guys probably need each other. I mean, they're not really attractive opponents for anyone right now. And they're not exactly getting big offers one after the other. So, I think Lucas Browne versus Hughie Fury makes a lot of sense if they could get it on a TV channel. Again, I wouldn't really look forward to it that much. It wouldn't be a fight I would sort of have marked down in the diary, but it does make a lot of sense because ultimately, if Hughie beats Lucas Browne, it does put himself back up in the rankings. It's an unbeaten guy. It would be a decent win on his resume. It'd be the best win on his resume. So it makes sense for Hughie Fury to get a name on the resume, and somebody like Lucas Browne would be the best win. And it makes sense for Lucas Browne because ultimately he's not exactly getting big opportunities apart from the Dillian White fight. So why not on his behalf? If he beats Hughie Fury, he'll then become highly ranked in the WBO, and then that would put him in a good position for a shot at Joseph Parker. You know, Joseph Parker's obviously the WBO champion, so if Lucas Browne gets a high ranking, it gets him right up there. Lucas Browne versus Joseph Parker down under, I'm sure will do big business. Now, I've heard online that Lucas Browne is not actually a big star in Australia, but Joseph Parker definitely he is a big star in New Zealand, so I think that fight would sell down under, to be honest, and it would do some big pay-per-view numbers down there. So maybe that's what Lucas Browne needs to be thinking of. If he could beat Hughie Fury, then, you know, he then becomes highly ranked. So I think it's a fight that makes sense for both guys, because ultimately these guys are not commercially viable for the other top heavyweights. So maybe if they fight each other and, you know, somebody's going to come out of a win and it does make them a bit more relevant, you know. What do you guys think of this fight? I personally think the Lucas Browne fight makes a lot of sense, to be honest. I think that's the fight they should go for next. in regards to the Parker fight again, I don't think he deserves a rematch. But that's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys think. Where does Hughie Fury go next? I mean, do you want to see a Parker rematch? Or would you rather see Hughie go after somebody like Lucas Browne? And for the record, I actually think Hughie could beat Lucas Browne because Lucas Browne, he's a lot slower than Joseph Parker. I know Parker looked slow on Saturday, but Lucas Browne's a lot slower. So I think Hughie's got a lot better chance of outboxing Lucas Browne than he did to Joseph Parker. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Peace.